Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 24th of May 2024, Friday, and it's 12:43 p.m. I'm home from visiting the Mater Private urology nurse. I had to do another flow test, which was kind of a disappointing result actually, but anyway, they can work it out. That's their profession. And while I was there, the nurse kindly showed me how to operate the TENS machine that my beautiful friend Tarina Edwards had given to me a few years back actually. I think she gave it to me for when I was struggling with nerve pain in my left leg and sciatica, and wanted me to use it, and I never used it. I had it shoved away in the cupboard. I actually even thought that I'd moved the energy on and given it to charity. And I had a fossick around in my linen cupboard 2 days ago and found it, and I was like, oh, I'm grateful that I kept that machine, since I need it now for, ironically, of all things, to try and calm my bladder signalling. It's a bit bizarre. So luckily Mama T's a hoarder and very rarely throws things out. And I just kind of must have had an instinct that I might need it one day for, some purpose. Anyway, thank you, Tarina. The TENS machine will be put into use tonight. I've got to use it a half an hour before I go to sleep at night, and try and see if it makes a difference to, the urgency to get up during the night, which is a pain in the ass. I was up 4 times last night, which is not too bad. But, sometimes I'm up 8 or even more times. So I'm curious to see if this TENS machine works, and if it works, I thereby avoid the more expensive and, kind of more worrisome Botox treatment. So that'll be good if I can avoid that. And Mama T's avoidant of any serious medical interventions, because I have a history of things not going all that well, people. So anyway, I'm just kind of like excited and happy that I actually have the right equipment for the thing we needed, which was almost miraculous that I A, had the machine gifted to me by Tarina, and B, had actually kept it hidden away in my linen cupboard, and C, am now able to use it, and that it's still working, by the way. Miraculous. It's all meant to be. So sometimes you've just got to put your trust in the gods, am I right? And I'm fortunate that I have generous friends that help me out from time to time too. Very, very fortunate. So yeah, so I went to the Mater and I came straight home. I thought about looking around the city, but I'm kind of just like a homing pigeon. As soon as I finish my appointment, I go straight home. And then I kind of need to go out and buy a few more groceries, but then I kind of don't want to go anywhere shopping. So I came home, and I kind of prepared to have a little lie down, get back into bed, and I took all my jewellery off. And then I thought, nope, I'm going to put my jewellery back on and make my video while I'm looking nice and feeling positive and excited about life. And then tonight, Friday night, is my dancing night. So hopefully, if I'm not too tired tonight, I'll be out strutting my stuff as I normally do. Tonight, I think Ramjet are playing, so that will be a good night, and I'm looking forward to it. Unless, of course, I peg out with exhaustion, which sometimes happens, but not usually. I usually surf my own exhaustion and fatigue and push myself out into the world for the whimsical, wild dance. So there is that. It's a beautiful day today, but all of a sudden it's gone a bit overcast looking, which is odd because the skies are still blue. Oh well. Anyway, I'll continue on with readings of my journal entries of even date. And today we're reading Memories, 24th of May 2023. My magical talisman that arrived in my life 1 month before that life-threatening surgery. And posted a photo of it. I've since lost that ring. I actually lost it about 6 months or a year after it came into my life. And it's not actually sterling silver. I think it was just some kind of, I don't know what metal it was, some kind of pot metal. But it must have been a model for them to make more rings out of it. And I wish I still had it, because I would have made another one in sterling silver, because I really loved it. It had the evil eye, or kind of the eye, but if you turn it upside down, it also looked like a rising or setting sun. It was just such a magical little talisman. I bought it for $12 in a second-hand shop in Byron Bay, not knowing that I was about to have, my gallbladder excised, which happened, they put me in quite suddenly. They gave me 5 days notice, which was also a bit of a shock. So I bought that ring a month prior, not knowing that I was about to have, kind of a full-on invasion of my body, necessary to remove the gallbladder, but that I would also have a near-death experience. So the gods were kind of tweaking me a little bit beforehand, which only in hindsight 2020 did I realise that's what was going on. They were giving me extra protection. Blessed be the Holy Ones in all manifestations, gifting me extra protection and delight and magic and sweetness. So I worked, this is back in 2023. I worked hard today. I cleaned Charlie's cage, then mopped the studio floor. I put the cage back together, then cleaned my fish pond filter, which I kind of have to do today as well. I'll do that when I finish this video, I think. Then I got to work on my opal pendant. The 4th prong fell off when I set the stone. I wore it anyway, as I was so happy to have almost completed it. But when I came back from our walk, I spent a few hours trying to solder the 4th prong back on, to no avail. It's weird how that sometimes happens. I will try again tomorrow with a new prong. If that doesn't work, I will just leave it with 3 prongs. I am exhausted. And the little round spiral I had soldered onto one of the prongs actually fell off too, so that was a design plan I had that didn't work out, but I did eventually get all 4 prongs on. I'm just a little bit disappointed that I didn't get the spiral, but it kind of melted anyway and didn't really look how it should look, so there was that. Anyway, beginners difficulties, and I decided not to make it too complicated, because I was having enough trouble just getting the prongs to solder on without trying to go really fancy and make my life a living hell, right? Am I right? I tend to make my own life a living hell because I get overly ambitious at times. That's the weird thing. It's for someone who fails and loses so catastrophically, I'm actually a very ambitious person. Who knew? It's kind of incongruent as usual, and kind of comical as well. 24th of May 2022. This is a comment related to 24th of May 2019, which I'll read first. Today I bought a silver ring, wasn't sterling silver, but anyway, in an op shop for $12. What was amazing is Byron is always a very special place for me. The ring has an eye engraved on the front of it, and on the inside it reads Sacred Space 111, and on the back it has engraving with the word magic. I am delighted with my little universal talisman. I really was thrilled, especially with it having the words magic and sacred space and 111. I knew it was a sign of something. I just didn't know what the sign was. That I was going to have a near-death experience and a quite painful fucking surgery that would take me a long time to recover from, including the trauma associated with it. It was very systemically abusive at the pre-admission. It was heinous how I was treated, actually. I should have actually cancelled the operation and refused to have it there. It was that bad. But, Tanya being Tanya just thought, oh, well, just go with the flow, and I'm booked in and I'll just go ahead and have that surgery. No, I nearly fucking died. It was full on, people. But anyway, I didn't die, and I'm here to tell the story, and I'm still going on about it. 5 years later, because I'm still a bit livid about it all. But I must say I've been treated much nicer at the Mater, much, much more nicer by the staff, with real genuine kindness and basic respect. So it's just a matter of having the right doctors to advocate for you who actually are on my team and respect my cumulative complex traumas and treat me like a human being. Makes a big difference to a woman's life. So anyway, I commented on that in 2022. I lost that ring shortly after. I might try to make a copy of it one day when I can afford proper engraving tools, lol. It came into my life as a kind of talisman as soon after I bought it. I had that awful AWE hash slash, no, what is the word for that? Hyphen. AWE-FULL NDE during my cholecystectomy. No accidents in the multiverses. Blessings come and blessings go. But the Tanya is always in a state of some weird kind of flow. Indeed, I am. Flowing and sometimes almost frothing at the mouth when things don't go according to plan or when I've been very badly treated. But at the end of the day, I'm still healing myself, and it's not my liver and my gallbladder that cause me too much problems now. It's now trying to get my bladder to stop screeching at me all night and demanding I pee constantly. So we'll see how I go with this TENS machine that I've got and I can start using tonight. I'm praying that it works. I really am. Be marvellous if it works. Anyway, it's worth a try, people. I want to get well enough to be a bit better functioning so I can invite a beautiful man into my life, actually have a partnership with someone. A love partnership, I mean. A loving, sexual, mutually exclusive, requited love partnership. And, can't really invite someone into your life when you're tired and fucking sick all the time, can you? It's just not cricket. Having said that, it's like every now and then I try my luck. Just saying. And I've got devoted friends in my life who do love me, even though I'm a bit bloody broken and kintsugi'd and barely holding myself together some days with the fatigue from the constant, bladder issues and the sleep apnea and the complex trauma. But I'm doing okay. I came straight home, which is kind of agoraphobic in a way, but I'm doing okay. I will improve. The right medicine, I will improve. And as my beautiful shaman friend, my handsome, talented shaman friend, Michelle Citrine told me back in 2020, he said, you will find a way to be together with your beloved one, because totally had the wrong man in mind, didn't I, back in 2020? Definitely was not that one. No way, Jose was it that one. But he predicted that he said I would find my niche, which I kind of have, my crazy niche, making my YouTube videos and making my sterling silver jewellery and my weird boltering darts that I've been doing for 14 years out in the Brisbane music scene. Those are 3 little kind of niches I've developed over time. He said I would find my niche and I would find a way to be with my truly loving partner. So the only way that can happen is for me to be a bit more successful financially, which cannot happen until a miracle happens and I either win lotto or have a man who can afford to take me on, which, it's kind of, I don't really want to be a charity at the mercy of a man financially. That's another issue I'll have. Or alternatively, I find a way to make money under my own steam and get off the disability pension, and that, my friends, it's not likely to happen either, given how hard it is even to go to the markets for me and my constant failures there historically. But anyway, Mama T lives in Titania's realm, where Queen Titania and King Oberon call the shots, and I just go with the flow and hope for the best and wait for my fairy tale life to manifest in 3D reality on the earth plane for real this time, and have a requited, gorgeous, delicious, loving partnership that's meant for me. I even have to nod at that, like psychedelic dreamer, still dreaming after all these years. But anyway, things work out for other women, and there's no reason why things can't eventually work out for me, which is what Michelle Citrine kind of, predicted would happen. And I'm seeing the signs this year more than ever. I'm seeing the signs, all the healing happening, all the work to get my bladder functioning, all the wonderful opportunities gifted me by my beautiful doctors. It's all happening in a far out way. I just have to trust in the multiverse that my body will heal herself and my life can begin again for real this time, surrounded by good, kind, loving people who vibe with me and want to see me win at long last, with harm to none and competition with none. So it is done. Anyway, here I post a picture of a ring I was trying to make out of a mustard spoon, antique mustard spoon, and solder on my little pendants that I've still got about 20 of those left. And anyway, it didn't quite work out, but I was onto something. I might try that again sometime. I was onto something, people. I'm not sure what I was onto, but I was just kind of playing to see what I can actually make, out of my flatware and my inventiveness or creativity. Progress report. This evening I finally managed, with the help of my newly arrived head shank tweezers, to solder the head of this ring onto the shank. It's not the best soldering job. No, it fell off and I ended up scrapping it actually. I have a bit of cleanup to do, but it's held together, so I am bloody excited. My first ring made from a solid sterling silver ring put together with a spoon bowl. And do you know what? I could try that again actually. I'm sure I could try that again and have more success. I might actually give it another whirl. But that ring that I used was, you know, a ring that I was going to scrap actually. And I've actually soldered that to an ingot with an opal on it. So I've used that ring in another design. But I could cast another sterling silver ring and make another one similar, and then I could, you know, I could try that again sometime. I could if I want to, if I really choose to. Here I posted a, my sense of humour is delightful sometimes. Here I posted a video about, I can't remember what it was about, something about jewellery making. It's here on YouTube. 24th of May 2022. Mjolnir is here. Hail Thor. Hail Thor and Odin, the Viking gods. Well, as a good Jewish woman, I worship the Holy One in all manifestations. But sometimes I feel a bit Viking, so then I acknowledge the Viking gods and the Norse gods, and other times I acknowledge other gods. But it's all one consciousness, people. All one consciousness. So I take great delight, and I derive great peace from that, knowing that I can communicate with all sorts of energies, knowing that we're all aspects of the divine. All of it, all of it, all of it. Even humans are reflections of the divine, although sometimes we forget that. We can be a bit fucking bestial, but if we remember our true souls and our true spirits, can't really lose, people. Can't really lose at all, because everything ultimately returns to source. Here I posted another video, part 2 of the Hammer Mjolnir video of even date. So yes, quite comical at times. Mamati can be quite comical. 2021, I posted a photograph of a bracelet I'd made out of my mother's drinks trolley brass, and I added a little rivet with a little crystal rivet on it. I really like that. I should actually wear it. I make all these things and then they don't sell and then they lie around, but I should be wearing them. But there's only so much jewellery one woman needs, and well, anyway, it's frustrating at times. 24th of May 2020, 5:34 a.m. Rough night, little sleep. I had to put 2 blankets on top of my doona to weight it down so I could finally pass out, which meant I wasn't feeling warm enough. If I don't feel comfortable or warm enough, I can't sleep. It's like I really am like a child. It's quite alarming at times. The bones in my feet ache from all the frenetic house sorting. House looks the same, only I know what has been changed. Feeling slightly berserk from exhaustion with the attendant insomnia. Penny is staring into my face, purring loudly as I write. Bobo is still snoozing. Time to beat back consciousness for a few more hours, or I will end up sick again. 11:57 p.m. Day 4 of Tetrising my home is over. I am exhausted and feel like I'm going around in circles. Well, I had 3 households of stuff here. Actually, no, in 2020 I'd given all Crystal's stuff back. But anyway, I still had a lot of stuff to declutter. But the kitchen has been organised. It took all night. Mushagus, that means insanity. Another cold night. I am in bed as utterly exhausted. Last night I was up during the night and ended up sorting a kitchen cupboard at 2:30 a.m. Nuts. Then I was awake until 5, then slept till 11 a.m. 6 hours sleep, and all this intense, frenetic, driven urge to sort my house. So I am about to crash and burn, babies. I worked from 11 a.m. and did not dress or shower until 2 p.m. Worked in my dressing gown as I was tired but driven. After my shower and dressing, I took Bobo and Charlie for a quick walk, then came home as I realised I was hungry. I had not eaten. I hope I rest well tonight. Everything aches. Day 5 of sorting frenzy. I have managed to wrestle and wrangle the laundry. I cheated by throwing a lot of stuff out, mostly old rags I was intending to use for brass polishing. I can get in and out of the laundry without feeling I have entered a war zone now. It's a tiny space, so I will have to be more judicious about tidying up as I go. In the early evening, I screwed hooks onto a black wooden display ladder so the necklaces that hang off it look neater and more professional. I smiled when I finished it, as really it was fine as it was, but the Tanya is on some sort of mission, so now it is useful, plus has hooks. Screwing in 9 hooks took a lot of time. More unnecessary shit, but satisfying for me. I also took down one of the wooden crates that forms my pantry and screwed in more awesome fold-up hooks so the kitchen accessories have better hanging space. I polished the copper pipe that the pots hang off. I need to do all the other windows as well. I am being pedantic and a tad perfectionist. I still have the floors to mop and vacuum. Probably tomorrow. I polished the brass fox on the back door, still the front entry decorations to polish. I'm feeling like I'm getting on top of my significant mess. I need to have everything in its place and sorted, as I need to feel safe and comfortable in my own space that I have created, my sacred space. So that was 4 years ago, and I'm happy with all that effort I put in, and happy with how my house looks now. 24th of May 2019. Today, oh yes, I've already mentioned that, or I've already read that out, about the ring that was a talisman. You can just see in the photograph here on the inside of it, they had written or engraved sacred space, and in the middle of it with a yin and yang symbol. Like, it was just so magical. It was like right up my alley. I missed that ring. I lost it on one of my walks around the block, and you know, a lot of school children hang around the area because I'm right next door to a high school, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of the kids had found it and kept it. But you see, this is the way with magical talismans. When they are no longer needed, or the energy that they came to protect or promote or produce is past, it moves on to someone else in need. So I'm still grinding my gears about losing it though, but on the other hand, holding on while letting go, as Michelle would say, and it's probably protecting some other new owner if it was found. I don't know how I lost it actually. I must have lost a little bit of weight at the time and it slipped off my finger. But yeah, I miss it. I miss it. And I could make another one if I wanted to. I'm just not that good at engraving. I don't know how they did that. It's beautiful. It was a beautiful ring. I would like to make it in gold actually. Maybe one day I'll pay a proper jeweler to copy it and make it in gold. If I have the money. Maybe one day, maybe never. This is the back of the ring. And you can see in between the patterning that they had embossed on it or engraved, it says M-A and G-I-C. So whoever made that design put a lot of thought into it, and it truly was a magical ring, and I truly was blessed to have it come into my life just at that time when I was about to undergo a fucking medical ordeal, by the way. So, which should not have been an ordeal, it should have been a routine operation, but the viciousness and the systemic abuse was off the fucking charts, people. Anyway, my friend Marty LTP, who is also a shaman and calls himself Fairy, by the way, lovely, lovely man. Haven't met him in real life, but we had some lovely messaging going between us on Facebook over the years. Lovely soul. He wrote, "Nice one, Tanya." And I replied, "It's amazing how the universe works, innit?" And my friend Julie Goddard, who I knew from Power Talk days, wrote, "That's way cool." So all my magical friends really got why I was thrilled about that ring. Here's another magical shot of us at a beautiful farm in Byron Bay. My gorgeous friend Jared tiptoeing through the sunflowers, being magical too. Just see Bobo underneath him. Here's me. We had so much fun taking photos in amongst those lovely sunflowers that day. It was gorgeous. It was childlike and innocent and sweet and a bit fey, and it was just so lovely. Here's a photo of the bow, the one and only beautiful bow. God, I miss him. I miss him. My beautiful boy. All the bones in my neck crack as I turn my head. It's not good, people. Oh well. I enjoyed my dance all the years, and yes, I do have injuries, and yes, nothing in life is perfect, and Yes, my beautiful friend Scott was right to tell me not to wash my head anymore. Can't quite see that, can you? It's me with my daughter Crystal and little Bobo by my side. Anyway. Here I write, I was going to see Poseidon today, from my lips to God's ears. I was talking about going to see Poseidon at the beach at Byron Bay, but instead he was waiting for me as a mural on the wall in one of the little laneways at Byron. Just so amazing, this one here, Poseidon. God of the sea, king of all the merfolk, called in Roman and Latin he's called Neptune, and in Māori he's called Tangaroa. And sometimes I'm a little bit psychic because it was weird that I said I'm going to visit Poseidon. There he was waiting for me, painted up on the wall. Magic really does happen. Kind of a little bit lateral thinking wise, but it does happen. Oh, I feel all excited thinking about that. 24th of May, 2018. Outback Rabbis was delightful and a tad nostalgic. I loved the fact that Chabad found Jews in the pub who had no idea they were Jewish. Very cute. It was a TV show, a documentary about travelling around, all around the outback, around Queensland and all these little obscure little tiny country towns, finding people who were actually Jewish, but you know, the parents probably hadn't told them because they were still fearful, some residual fear left over from the Holocaust. So they were on this trail finding all these people who were either lapsed Jews or people raised in Christian religions that didn't know they were Jewish. It was really a delightful show. I think I saw it on ABC iView, but I don't know if it's still on there, but really I enjoyed it very much. 24th of May 2017. And I wrote this comment in response to an article titled Terminal Hospice Patient Exposes Truth About Ensure Nutrition Drinks. I wouldn't feed this to a dying animal. And it shows some pudding called Ensure Original Pudding. 170 calories. Well, it's diet food. Yeah, I hate diet food. I wouldn't feed that to an animal either. I never ever eat diet products or drink diet like Coke Zero or anything with chemical sweeteners. I'm actually a phenylketonuria or something. I'm allergic to aspartame and those kind of products, which is why colonoscopies were so hellish for me, because the prep they give you is loaded with that stuff, and it used to take me 2 months to recover after every one. Anyway, my comment here was, because I'm livid about people feeding shit to frail elderly people who can't speak for themselves, or dying people that could be fed something much nicer, by the way, and healthier. It's just evil to do that. It's just making things easy for some lazy frickin' bureaucrat, or it's just beyond evil. Anyway, here I responded, or commented. They fed my mother a diet lemon cordial that she refused to drink at the Moreton Bay Nursing Care Unit. One day, while trying to coerce her to drink it, I actually used to sit there and go, "Drink this, Mum. You need to drink," thinking she needed the fluids, right? Not realising how vile it tasted. So one day, while trying to coerce her to drink it, I decided to taste it myself. It tasted like bleach. I was horrified. I complained to the kitchen staff. I told them they would be better off providing jugs of water with real lemon or lime slices in it than that pure poison. That's why the elderly in there were not drinking enough fluids, because it was so vile they couldn't get it down their throat, and they were literally getting dehydrated, by the way. They were equally horrified and promised to remove it from their menu. I hope they did. I really hope they did. She died not long after my mother, and I couldn't fucking supervise what was going on in that home anymore. Oh God, it was awful. It was very traumatising and triggering for me too. Mum also was fed mushy, slimy looking food towards the last part of her life, as she could no longer swallow. I get that, but the food looked fake and terrible. They could have moolied up actual food for the residents. I used to joke with Mum, "Well, it's not KFC, is it?" And she would cackle toothlessly with a gleam in her eye, and the other residents would join in on the joke too. It really was awful. It really was. 24th of May 2016. Busy afternoon. I have set up the fourth pond under the stairs, moved the youngest goldfish back into it, put the red light from the front pond into it. It all looks lovely. I planted sweet corn and snow peas around the bottom of the aquaponic pond so they can climb up around the outside of it. I found Heidi Hen dead this morning. Poor little girl. No idea what killed her either. It's just awful. That's why I don't keep chooks anymore. There were too many deaths on this land. I actually think they were being poisoned, because I never ever put sprays or, toxic fertilisers down, but I saw recently the BCC going past spraying, and that overspray must have been enough. If they did that regularly, it must have been enough to poison my girls. Mystery solved, right? Bastards. But anyway, here I post a photograph of Beauregard. Clearly it was before I had him desexed. He was about 18 months when I eventually desexed him. But anyway, I joked, "I'm a hustler, baby." He was the cutest little thing. He really was. He was a funny little dog, but he was cute. 24th of May 2015, 2:45 a.m. Okay, yesterday I prematurely ejected my daughter out of Bris Vegas mania. She leaves this time tomorrow, Monday morning, 2 a.m. Oh dear goddess. We're all in bed, excited and terrified about the big overseas adventure. I am so very proud of my big girl, my heart's delight, my sunshine. She's going to love Europe, have loads of fun, and do great things. Ironically, both sets of her grandparents hailed from Europe, Poland and Germany, and on my father's side were the Irish connection, Irish, English and Scottish, by the way, with a smattering of French. So in true Viking style, her ancestors and the gods have called her home. Home is where the heart lies, and home will teach her all the things her soul needed to learn that could not be taught in Australia or New Zealand for that matter. We simply never quite fit into this culture, which is a major part of our spiritual, intellectual, and cultural struggle. I pray the French this week treat her well, and the blessed Irish thereafter. They didn't. She had a terrible time in Ireland for 8 months. I will be eagerly looking forward to all her exciting experiences and stories in Skype. Tonight, Jared and I get to see her finale performance in The Virtuous Burglar, which Crystal says is funny and I will very much enjoy. I have enjoyed all her work. Then after we will have dinner and hang out at the airport with Jasmine, Tabitha, Jordan and her husband Stephen, and a few other friends. Quite a merry band of farewellers, all very good. I won't go into that, how very fucking awful that was, but never mind, I've moved on since then. It's not pleasant how I was treated, but it is what it is. Crystal is still madly rushing about. They hired a trailer to bring some heavy stuff here. Jared almost had an accident. They are taking the trailer back now. Then Crystal goes to do her show, and we leave here to attend the show at 4:30 p.m. Full on. Like, who arranges to emigrate from, their home country on at the very same space-time continuum as they're closing up a show? Only my daughter could organise that. Honestly, the stress she put herself and us through was phenomenal. But anyway, that was then, this is now. She is still going through a big bag of stuff, making last-minute decisions in what she is taking to Ireland. Not enough room. Gewalt. My beautiful, artistic, but fey little Scorpio has left stuff to the last minute, laughing out loud. She left me some awesome sneakers and some nice clothes. It's a bit weird prospering by your kids journeying. Jared is quite stressed too. I'm so pleased he helped her bring the big furniture items, as her lazy, hopeless, gormless twat of a father refuses to help. Thank God for Jared, who has been real family to us. Later we wrote, having dinner at Grilled with Tabitha, Jasmine, Ashley, Chloe, Jared and Crystal. The food is delicious, and that dinner was the last time I ever saw Jasmine, by the way. She was that bloody obnoxious too. I'd ask her a question like, how's life? Have you got a boyfriend? And all I got was sneered at and one-word answers. So in the end I thought, fuck you. You're not even my daughter. You're just a stranger to me now. I won't even bother trying to play nice. But of course I was upset and triggered by all of that. It was just beyond awful. Here I write, in the front row of the audience with Jared, I will miss psyching my girl out at her shows. Smiley face. And that was a joke that I used to sit in her focal point, which I thought all the years that Crystal actually liked. And then she told me when she came back from Europe that she hated me being in her focal point. And, well, last year she disinvited me from coming to her show at all. And then in the last minute got an attack of the guilt, so invited me to come to the pre-show. But I was excluded from the season coming to her, her professional, proper season show, the play she was in. So I was like outcasted again. And I hadn't done anything wrong, by the way. So you know what? It's no wonder I get suicidal from time to time. It's just the constant abuse and neglect and abandonment and betrayal of me. It's fucking beyond. And I've got a pain in my guts here just thinking about it, you know. But I kind of have to like just let it go and move on and focus on the people who do actually care about me and love me and enjoy my company, and try to pretend I never had kids. It's that fucking heart-wrenching at times. Anyway, here I write, the show was excellent. It even had an Italian Casanova called Antonio, which reminded me of Antonio and Marco at the casino. Art imitating life once again. Very funny. And here's some photos of the chaos of my daughter. She was about to launch herself as an overseas traveller to England and Ireland, and oh my, she did go to Scotland and Wales briefly too. She really liked Scotland. It was beautiful. And she had a beautiful experience in Scotland with a stag coming out greeting the back of the tour bus, and Crystal had walked off on her own, and this beautiful stag came and just stared at her, and it was magical, you know. Well, our ancestors do come from there on the Anderson line, so there is that. The night before the liberation of Crystal, Wild Traveller, well, that's true too, but World Traveller, actor, troubadour, and clown. Anyway, she got to have all those experiences that I've always dreamed of experiencing myself, but I never had the money or the opportunity to do so. So I'm very happy and grateful that at least my kids got to go to Europe and the UK and see the ancestral stomping grounds, quite literally. Here's a photo from 2014. Kind of updated my profile picture, which is a photograph that Jared took of me one time when I was getting ready to go dancing. It's quite delightful. I look very serious though, because I'm like trying to put my eye makeup on. 4:43 a.m. Finally on a bus home, tired and hurt by a callow lying man. Such is my life. That would be Dave Charles, that fucking asshole. Oh my God. Anyway, here I write, nothing has changed in 49 years. Thank God for my beautiful friends. My only happiness left to me in this world, so very sad. It will be good to be home with the cats and a nice cup of tea and a hot bath to wash that man right out of my hair. But I didn't, did I? I held on like some kind of maniac until, well, actually I kind of held on right up until 2020 was the last time I actually spoke to him face to face. So yeah, that whole thing was kind of crazy, people, and I'm glad it's over now. It was awful, really was beyond awful. Being in love with someone that's sadistic and voyeuristic and Machiavellian, it's the worst fucking thing in all the world. It really is. It's why I'm still 2024 hoping against hope of finding a real, true, authentic lover man, and hasn't quite landed yet, but or it has landed, but that person's not available, and it wouldn't be honourable to upset the apple cart there, really. So once again, I'm held back, not this time, not by unrequitedness, because I can see this person adores me. He's a true friend to me, by the way, but by the fact that I can't proceed in anything romantic or sexual or passionate, because it would destroy too many people's lives, and it's not fair. So that's another kind of grief, how I'm stymied by the gods again. It's just so fucking unfair that I'm never allowed my own true loving partner. It really is. It's beyond cruel. But the gods know what they're doing. They're keeping me safe and pristine and in a state of kind of ebullient excitement, probably for the right one who is choosing me, who hopefully will manifest in the future. Hopefully. It could happen, am I right? Meanwhile, the dance continues, and I remain in love with my true loving friends, and that too is a powerful and life-affirming and gratifying love. And yeah, time will tell. Time will tell who loves me deeply and truly enough to be my man. Time will tell. Just watching tree loppers backing out. 24th of May 2011. My worst nightmare has happened. Yup, my computer just died with all my photos, legal correspondence, etc. in it, because it wouldn't print as it wouldn't read the USB ports. I can't afford another pooter, so goodbye one and all, until next time. I always kind of have this meltdown when my computers die, and it's usually something really simple to fix, but I have this kind of freak out. So anyway, it's quite funny. I'm laughing at myself there, how funny that is. That was back in 2011. So anyway, this concludes today's readings of Even Date, and I'm kind of hungry now. I haven't had lunch and it's 20 to 2. Came straight home from the hospital without eating anything while I was out. So I'm a bit peckish now, and have to think what it is I want to eat. And yes, I'm quite happy today, in spite of having to have that journey of going to the hospital. I had trouble finding I had a little bit of trouble finding it, but I was given really good instructions. But I'm just off in Tanya's land with exhaustion, so it kind of took me a while. And then when she was showing me how to do the TENS machine, I had to take photos and take particular notice of the settings, because otherwise I won't remember. I just get lost in space, and it's a bit of a worry, actually. I said to the nurse, I'm actually a highly intelligent woman, but you wouldn't know, because I live in fairyland with the fairies, and I disassociate a lot, or I don't remember things. So I said I have to literally, if I'm learning something now, I have to write it down or take photos or videos or voice record, and I have to be right on top of everything. She's like, oh yes. And I just felt like such an idiot even having to admit to that. So here's the other thing. If I invite a man into my life, that's going to upset the apple cart, because it'll be a change in my routine, and I'll have to fit in with his routine, and I'll have to learn all things that man how he likes things done, and then I'll lark up about it because I'll feel like my freedom's impeded. So you know what? The gods know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, keeping me safe and not letting me have a partner, because it'd be a whole new learning curve, at least for the first few weeks and months, of me trying to adapt to another person. I've lived alone for 29 years, so adapting to another person is a bit bloody terrifying, especially if that other person turns out to be abusive as well. I don't want to adapt to another abuser. I'd rather die. And that, my friends, is always and forever on the cards too. So you see, it is a conundrum how I exist in the world. I don't exist in the world like other women, so I've been put through too much in the past. I need someone that's kind and gentle and wise and strong and loving and tolerant of me and patient with me with my wild ways and my way of arcing up sometimes when I think things aren't quite copacetic, and I have to be gentle with myself too. As my friend Lynn said to me the other day, I've never seen you so happy, Tanya, and I want you to be happy, and it means that you have to just relax, let things fall into perfect equilibrium and perfect place, and not sweat the small stuff, because the right man will love you no matter what, Tanya. She's right too. That is how it works. When you fall in love with the right person for you, it just happens gracefully and naturally and peacefully, and for once in my life it won't be an illusion or a delusion or some hideous fucking abuse dynamic. For once in my life it'll be beautiful and blessed and gracious and sweet and noble and honouring and respectful and kind between that person and my own self. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Anyway, on that note, bye for now. Have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the space-time continuum, and much big agape love from my sacred space to your sacred space. As the Māori say, ara hanui, lots and lots of love, and shalom, peace. Bye for now.